The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
as a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Good morning, Liberty lovers and ecclesiastics all across the globe. It is I, your lovable host, Elrod, coming to you live this Friday morning. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, indeed, it is Friday. No longer November. It is now December 1 in the year of our Lord 2017. That's right, December 1st, first day of December, first day of the last month of the year 2017. Deep into it now, deep into the Christmas, Hanukkah season. Yes, you only have 24 more shopping days until Christmas. So, welcome aboard. As we delve into today's wonderful theme of Open Mic Freedom Friday, and what we do every Friday, for those of you who are new to the program, is we try to take things a little bit lighter. Sure, we still touch on the heavy and weightier topics, but I also bring you a bunch of fun, friendly, usually pop culture-ish types of items that nobody else is talking about. Just for a little bit of fun and frivolity to celebrate our growing amount of freedom as we head into the weekend. We've worked all week. Worked hard, so now we're going to sit back and celebrate with family and friends. Maybe pop a beer or two, or a bottle of wine, or what have you, and celebrate some of our regained freedom. One of the things about freedom that we've regained that a lot of people just don't realize yet is regulation has been stripped from the regulatory books, if you will, under Trump so far, and he's continuing to keep on. By the way, he's not done. But what is it? 74,000 pages or 75,000 pages of regulation total in this country, which is absolutely ridiculous. So they got to go through, page by page, line by line, in order to get rid of a lot of this stuff. And that is part of the reason for the economic boost. And we'll talk about the lack of progress for the tax cuts as the program unfolds this morning. There's news in that front. You're probably not going to be happy about it. If you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, you'll probably be happy about the news. If you are not, if you're more of a moderate or conservative, or you're a conservative Democrat, or you're just a person that likes to be able to keep the money that you earn, you're probably not going to like the news about the tax cuts later on. Yeah, and of course, we've still got news about the ongoing saga of sexual harassment, sexual innuendo, sexual misconduct, sexual this, sex that, sex this, sex. Now, there's a new name floating around now. A new name. And we'll get into that as the program unfolds. And the bad part about it is that in this new name, there's a relative, a close relative, who believes the allegations. Not standing with this relative. This younger relative is not standing with the older relative and saying, no, I don't believe that he did it. No, he's saying, I believe he did it. I believe it. So that's kind of damaging and damning in and of itself. But first, there is Meghan mania going on. I guess Harry and Meghan, what is official engagement? Their first official engagement? I don't understand what that is. I'm not a royal watcher. And I don't particularly care what any... Why are we so fascinated with the British royal? Do you know that it's not just there are there's still other royalty sitting on the throne on this planet. In fact, there's royalty on this planet that is still sitting on the throne that still actually has massive political power. The British royalty has very little I mean, they have some influence, of course, but they have very little. They're basically nothing but figureheads. I don't even know how that happened. When did that happen? When did the British monarchy abdicate and become figurehead? I haven't really delved into British history over the past 200 years, but I know obviously it happened sometime since after America became the United States of America. So I mean, it hasn't been that long. So I don't know exactly when it happened. But again, I've never really been all that interested in recent British history. But I guess I'm going to have to look into this part. But I don't know why in this country I suppose maybe because we were once connected to them, like Canada was once connected to them and still is to a certain degree. And the British Empire was probably the largest empire the world has ever seen. The Brits probably came the closest to actually ruling the world than any other empire. Seriously, I mean, they probably came the closest. As far as it was once said that the sun never set on the British Empire. I know that there were other empires that I love how we say history. He conquered half of the known world. The whole world was known. It was. I love how we disparage people who are not of European, Asian, or African descent. Western Hemisphere. Simply because, and obviously, evidence has been shown that there were some Europeans that did know about the Western Hemisphere, going back quite a ways, thousands of years. So it wasn't a secret. So this whole notion that they conquered half the known world is kind of false, misleading, a misnomer, because there were Europeans and others that actually knew about the so-called New World long before Christopher Columbus. Not to mention, you had all the Native Americans that were living here all that time. Now, maybe the vast majority of them didn't know that the Old World existed, but that's irrelevant. The point is that they knew about the world that they were living in. That's all that counted. I'm not one that's into rewriting history. I'm just for actually writing it accurately. And it also means that history, as we find out stuff, because, we don't have a lot of great records from the past like that. So when we find out stuff, And if it means that the history books have to be rewritten, you can't stand by, well, I learned in school. Who cares what you learned in school? If the historical record needs actually correcting in a proper manner, not just because you want to correct it and make it say something, give it some sort of political meaning, which it doesn't have, I'm all for correcting it. Look, the correct record is Columbus was not the first person to discover the United States of America. By far, he was not. He was not the first person to discover the Western Hemisphere. He was not the first Westerner or European to do so. We have evidence, irrefutable evidence that the Nordics, the Vikings were here. We have evidence that others were. I don't know how you explain how you find some African, Egyptian, and European items here in the New World, supposedly, before Christopher Columbus sailed, and then say Christopher Columbus discovered everything. I don't know how you reconcile that. Now, look, I'm not saying that we should stop celebrating Christopher Columbus Day. Not at all. Christopher Columbus opened the gates for modern exploration of the new. Everybody became very. It was at the perfect time. How is that, Rod? Well, because information began to flow more freely during Christopher Columbus's time and after it. Printing presses were invented, and newspapers were being invented, and the flow of information was traveling more freely from country to country by the time Christopher Columbus came along. Before that, worldwide communication among quote-unquote civilization was not all that good. But it got better as Christopher Columbus is. Now, if Christopher Columbus had sailed the ocean blue a couple hundred years earlier, we wouldn't be talking about Christopher Columbus discovering America. It'd be somebody else. It's all about the communication. That's the important part. But in any case, Meghan and Harry are out in their official walkabout. Again, I don't know what that is. They're out there greeting fans. Okay, what? I'm just not a royal. I'm sorry, folks. I can't. I don't understand all the hoo-ha. And Princess Kate also steps out on her own without Prince Will's by her side. Again, okay, big deal. But these are big stories. So I look. I have to cover them. If they're big stories, I got to cover them. Here's a story. Well, I don't know. Somebody asked me why are you asking me? I don't know. Somebody asked me yesterday about the Meghan story, if Meghan was going to continue acting. Now, I don't even know what movies or TV shows that she's on or in. I don't. I don't even know who she is, really, to tell you the truth. I don't follow Hollywood that I probably should pay more attention. But I don't care about these people. I really don't. But in any case, they're not all that their job is to entertain me. And they get overpaid for doing it, but that's all their job is to entertain me. Why should I care more about them than the average, everyday, hardworking American who really makes this country move? I care more about the people of Indiana than the people of Hollywood, to tell you the truth. Just saying. I care more about flyover country than a bunch of overpaid, huff and puffery liberals on each coast. But in any case, they are out there, prancing around. Okay, if the Brits like their royals, they can have their royals. I for one, am glad that we, the United States, do not have such a silly thing. A restaurant owner personally delivers a $9,000 check to a McDonald's worker who helped police catch Florida serial killer, but was for some reason denied the reward money. Yes, police were searching for serial killer after 4 were shot dead in Tampa. Restaurant owner Richard Gonzmart, Gonzmart. He went ahead and he helped deliver. Well, he didn't help do anything. He promised $9,000 to anyone who helped police catch the killer. Now, on Tuesday, police arrested suspect Howell Donaldson III, who's 24, after a tip-off. Gonzmart personally delivered a check to the McDonald's worker who helped. $9,000 to a McDonald's. That's a lot of money to a McDonald's worker. But basically, the police brought in Howell Donaldson III after a McDonald's worker, Delonda Walker, told an officer in the restaurant that her colleague Donaldson had handed her a bag containing a gun and told her not to look inside. So the guy worked at McDonald's. And he hands a coworker a gun. How do you not get caught? Hey, you look at your coworker and say, here, take this bag, will you? Will you hold this? Don't look inside, though. Don't you dare look inside. Don't ever look inside the bag. Never look inside. What's the first thing a person is going to do when you tell them that? They're going to look inside, are they not? It's just human nature. I think maybe the guy wanted to be caught. I don't know. Hey, we got Christmas songs coming up this morning as well. Stay tuned.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Welcome back. We are going to play a few songs from last year's Christmas season, previous season, I should say, the previous 2 seasons today, and on Monday we will begin playing some of the new stuff that has been sent to me. Got some good stuff this year, by the way. But here is a song that by a group called AM Classical. Now I thought it was just at first when they sent me this, and I thought, well, that's not the name of the group. That's like, that Time magazine type of. No. That's really what the name of the singing group is. But it's Joy to the World, and it's a short little ditty. So here's their version of Joy to the World. Joy to the world. Gotta love it. That is Joy. Well, that was a interesting way of starting off the season with Joy to the World in a pipe organ fashion. Always kind of love the old-fashioned, old-style stuff. Hey, did you know about DMX? DMX. Anybody remember DMX? DMX is the rapper from the 80s, and well, he's from the 90s really. He was big in the 90s. He did a bunch of movies too. He even did a movie with Jet Li. How far the mighty have fallen. Well, rapper DMX faces 5 years in prison for dodging $1.7 million in taxes by insisting on cash payments and hiding thousands in managers' accounts. His real name, his government name, let you call me by my government name, Earl Simmons, who is also a.k.a. DMX, pleaded guilty to tax fraud yesterday in New York. The 46-year-old hip-hop artist and actor was arrested last summer. Prosecutors say he hid income with cash payments and secret accounts. $1.7 million for dodging 1.7. Why would you even try to do that? If you're a prominent person, let me rephrase that. If you are a rich, uppity, prominent black person, why would you try to hide money from the eye? They're gonna catch you. They're gonna come after you. But in any case, so DMX, he's 46 now. Boy, we're all getting old. He's looking a little haggard, I must say. You know, he's not. What was his? He had a group. You know, backup group. You know, what was it? Dog Pound. Roof. You know, anybody remember that? No, he didn't. Yeah, I think it was Dog. Was it the Dog Pound? Yeah, I don't recall. But in any case, he hasn't put out a hit record in a while. So we're a little sad for DMX. And he hasn't done any movies. He hasn't done any. Where do these people make their money after they don't make money? I want to know that nice little seat. Where do they put their money? Because some of these people, you know, they are. They don't go away. I mean, they don't get. I just want to know where some of them put their money. That would be kind of nice. I would think. I don't know. Any case, well, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to cover.
You're listening listening to The Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Nothing beats a good cup of coffee in the morning hours, even during this program. Coffee and the only thing better than coffee and cigar in the morning on this program is a good wine or a good scotch and a cigar in the evening. Yes, one of these when I have a dream of building something called a Lindell custom cedar home. Yeah, people who've known me for a while know I've had this dream for a long time. I'm still going to build one. Even if I'm 70 years old when I build it, still going to build one. And I'm definitely going to put myself in a men's room, if you will, if you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be a good statesman's room or a smoking room, a cigar lounge in my house. It's going to have all the wonderful wood paneling and wainscoting, and it's going to be of craftsman, the good old craftsman mission style of furniture in there, leather, and it'll have a good smoke eating system, so you won't have stale cigar smoke lingering afterwards. And it's going to have a bar in it with, that's loaded with good scotch, and it'll have all the wonderful cigars and pipe tobaccos, and you just sort of sit and relax every night. And people can come over and have a smoke with me, if they so desire. Or if they don't want to smoke, they can just drink. We won't get toasted, but we'll relax and enjoy, especially on the weekend. We'll just enjoy the good life here in the good old, while we still can. Because who knows, if the liberals ever come back to power, we might not be able to smoke or drink or do anything that they consider to be unhealthy. Well, they do try to do. Look, the Obamacare hasn't gone anywhere yet, so they can still, if they still were to win the White House, bring back the oppressive regulations of Obamacare and force us all to down to our knees to obey the government as far as healthy living. No eating. There was a story here. What is it? Children. I had it in the paper file. Is it children who are people who are obese as children have a 60% likelihood of being obese by the time they're 35. Look, I guess maybe Michelle Obama was right about feeding children properly and making sure so they teach kids how to throw away vegetables early, and they will always throw away vegetables straight into their adulthood. They only that's just the way kids are. In any case, eating a piece of cheese a day will now keep the doctor away. So it's not an apple a day anymore, it's cheese a day. A piece of cheese a day keeps the doctor away. Despite its high fat content, it slashes the risk of heart attack and stroke. But the portion must be of proper size. Consuming 40 grams of cheese daily can slash chances of heart disease by 14%. You got to get that. Got to get that size right. 40 grams only, just 40 grams. You can't have any more, no less, because it's high fat. And here in this country, we eschew high fat foods. Other countries like France, those people eat tons of cheese and lots of high fat. They have a high fat diet. And you ever notice how the French are still? You ever notice how the French are still slim? They eat a lot of high fat. They have a high fat diet. But that doesn't. Here in this country, we're still going for low fat. Low fat. Even though we find out that ultra low fat diets are not exactly the healthiest thing for you. You need some fat. But the same amount could lower, 40 grams could lower the risk of stroke by 10%. And I know the first thing that people are going to say is, where's the study done? Where is the study done, Rod? Well, it's a Chinese study. Aha! It's a Chinese study. It can't be any good. Well, there's also the good old French paradoxes where high-fat consumption isn't linked to heart disease at all. In France, cheese raises level of so-called good cholesterol while reducing levels of bad bad cholesterol. The calcium in the food means less of the fat is absorbed by the body because cheese is high in calcium. It also contains an acid that can help prevent clogging of the arteries. It can also, cheese is known to may be preventative of clogging of the arteries, but it clogs something else if you have too much and you're not used to digesting cheese. Now, it's not the lactose intolerant. Cheese can clog up your digestive tract to the point where you get constipated. There are a lot of people who have constipation. Well, the problem is that people have trouble with eating too much cheese and getting constipated simply because we don't eat enough fiber. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not trying to be a health guru here. Well, I'm not a health guru, but I do follow, real health science. I've never gotten aboard in any of these so-called diet fads. Like the Neanderthal diet and the Napolitano diet and all. I know that's not what they're called, but and the West Beach diet. I don't follow any. That's all garbage. You know what diet really works? It's still the best. It's something that is called a biblical diet. There has never been a diet better. Now, the biblical diet is actually based really, the modern incarnation is really based on the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean diet is one of the healthiest diets on the planet. It is. It's got people get plenty of fiber. They get the right kind of salt. Yes, there is a difference between regular, mineral salt and sea salt. I know people, there's no difference. Yeah, there is a difference. It's kind of like, we're told, well, taking vitamins doesn't help. Well, it depends on the kind of vitamins. All these vitamin studies. Has anybody ever noticed what the real vitamin studies are about? Well, a lot of them are sponsored by drug companies, for one. And two, they measure and they do the test on what we call chemical or bathtub vitamins, not natural vitamins. We know that food can be a healer or a killer. We know that. So how is it that getting a supplement of the vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients and all the other stuff that's in real food not going to help you? Well, it can, but not if it's a chemical-based thing. It doesn't have the same effect. It really, and that they have done studies on real natural vitamins and increasing certain intakes of certain minerals and vitamins and phytonutrients and it does do the body good, obviously. And it's kind of ironic because they'll tell you now that there are certain cancer patients that now will, this is mainstream. Not only is part of your cancer treatment to cure you of cancer, they'll introduce you to a dietitian so you get the proper nutrition while you're being treated chemically for cancer as well. So it's a big thing. But these fad diets, especially in the Western world, you know what another diet is very healthy? Believe it or not, besides the French and Mediterranean and biblical, is the Asian diet. I know they eat some weird stuff, right? We think they eat, but not necessarily. The real Chinese stuff isn't all that. The real Asian, it's rather healthy. It's got a lot of spice. The Indian diet from India is also considered to be very healthy because it's big on certain kinds of spices that keep the arteries clear. And fat and flushes out fat because Indians aren't fat because they're starving to death. No, not really. Indians aren't fat because of their diet. And I know a lot of Indians are vegetarian, so that helps them. But there are other issues behind your diet. So one of the things you can do to keep here's something that's good. Just eat 40 grams of cheese every day, and you'll be good to go. You'll slash your stroke your chance of stroke and your chance of heart disease by a significant amount. So go ahead and eat. Now, I don't know how you're going to measure 40 grams, but measure out 40 grams. Cut your cheese. It doesn't say what kind of cheese either. Well, I'm sure it's not the single wrap Kraft cheese, and I'm sure it's not the macaronian cheese. But the Chinese research was produced on the analysis of 15 separate different studies on cheese and heart risk. British also have led a study and found that almost 1 million people saw no increased risk with regular cheese consumption. So the Brits have done a study. The Chinese did some research on 15 separate studies. The European Journal of Nutrition says that the latest study, the Chinese contains saturated fatty acids, but also has potentially beneficial nutrients. But it is, however, unclear how long-term consumption affects the development of cardiovascular disease if you eat cheese. Okay. So now they're giving you a caveat. Why are they giving you a caveat? Because they believe that cheese is bad for you. Folks, this is where science has gone now. If somebody in science believes something, it doesn't matter where the facts lead them. They're going to give you a caveat, and they're going to keep testing until they get the result that they want, that they believe in. Kind of like global warming. There is no global warming, but they'll keep plugging all those models, all that data into the models to get a predictor that they want. And eventually, their predictions, every once in a while, their predictors come true. Hey, we're going to get to a point where temperature is going to rise. And then we get a hot summer and they say, see, told you. And then we proceed to get a cold winter and they scratch their head. Well, that's not supposed to happen. But yeah, ignore the actual evidence. They keep telling us that the planet's temperatures have risen. The actual data that has been gathered around the planet, it says otherwise. We haven't. The oceans haven't risen. The oceans are rising. No, the oceans haven't risen. As a matter of fact, there is some evidence that suggests that because of the increased amount of ice, that the ocean levels have fallen. Slightly. Just saying. It's out there. You can go look it up and go find it. Jury has totally ticked off Donald Trump. I read this morning and thought, well, President Trump has a right to be upset. A jury out in California finds Garcia Zaretti not guilty of the Steinle murder. Trump calls verdict disgraceful. Jurors yesterday afternoon acquitted the illegal immigrant accused of killing Kate Steinle as she walked with her father on a crowded San Francisco pier of all charges except for felony possession of a firearm. Yeah, it's the gun's fault. A spokesperson for the Superior Court of California made the announcement that the jury had reached a verdict shortly after 3 p.m. Shortly after 4:30, the shocking verdict was announced that Jose Inés Garcia Zaretti was found not guilty of all charges except for the gun possession charge. Jurors have been deliberating on the case since Tuesday, November 21st, after prosecutors and defense attorneys finished their arguments whether Garcia Zaretti was a hapless homeless man who killed Steinle in a freak accident or a calculated murder intent on playing a sick game. The jurors broke for the long Thanksgiving holiday on Wednesday, November 22nd. Deliberations have been going on since the jury reconvened Monday of this week. The jury of 6 women and 6 men considered charges against Garcia Zaretti that included murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and being a felon in possession of a firearm in the death of the 32-year-old Pleasanton native and San Francisco resident. Defense attorney Matt Gonzalez spoke after the verdict was read, first taking a moment to offer condolences to the Steinle family. I hope that they do not interpret this verdict as diminishing in any way the awful tragedy that occurred. Gonzalez is also quick to ask that the jury's decision be held in the proper regard. This jury's verdict should be respected, Gonzalez said. They heard the evidence. They deliberated as a group. They read back testimony. They looked at the physical evidence, and they rendered a verdict to the best of their abilities in accordance with the law. The attorney also anticipated the likely criticism that could be forthcoming from said high-profile politicians who had already commented. Now, my question is, I thought that Steinel's father identified the shooter. Now, I wasn't sitting in the jury pool. I wasn't sitting in the courtroom, so I don't know the evidence that was presented in this case. But if memory serves me correct, did not Steinel's father, the man who was with her when she was shot, identify the shooter? Now, okay, I can see maybe you're having trouble. Well, was it murder of any kind? Was it manslaughter? I mean, but he wasn't found guilty of anything except, well, he had a gun. He's a convicted felon in possession of a gun. Yeah, that's a crime. Look, the guy was found guilty of having a gun, but not using the gun. Does anybody see a problem with this? Again, I don't know the evidence of the case. I was not there in the jury room. I was not there in the courtroom. I didn't hear all the evidence. There's another problem. It seems like California district attorneys have a bad habit of blowing cases that should have been open and shut. O.J. Simpson case, anybody? Look, I still don't. I know that. Here's the story, folks. I personally believe that O.J. Simpson did not murder Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson alone. If he did murder them, it was not alone. He had assistance. There's just, I mean, the physical evidence was, but the prosecution, the California prosecution, blew the case of even tying him to the murder. They blew it. And they didn't have a witness there, but they still had the ability to get a conviction, and they blew it. Here in this in this Steinel trial, I thought, now I could be wrong, could be mistaken, but I thought that the father had identified Garcia Zaretti as the shooter. Could he have gotten the wrong person? I suppose he could have gotten the wrong person. But to be only to be convicted of just being in possession of a firearm when illegally possessing a firearm because you're a convicted felon. Will he get deported again? He's already been deported like 5 times. Will he now be deported again and then cross the border illegally again and then possibly shoot somebody again? Oh, well, hey, you in California, you guys voted for this stuff.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face, sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
This is Free America broadcasting on the Rod Eccles Show with a message to all patriots trapped behind the lines in California, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Don't give up, true lovers of America. Even as we speak, moves are being made to drive the invaders back to the land from which they came. Defeat the would-be dictators and lift the chains of tyranny from around your neck. Stay strong. Stay brave. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. Until next time, patriots, this is Free America signing out.
On this December number 1, it's still a chilly day out there, but it's warmer today than it was yesterday, because today it's above freezing now. Yesterday at this time it was still below freezing. The temperatures all around North America are warming up a little bit until you get up into the northern climes of Canada. I still don't know why people live up in Canada. Well, the southern parts of Canada, Toronto is nice, but and I guess the Canadian West Coast, like British Columbia, is kind of nice. But you start getting into the interior of Canada and up north. It's like living in Russia. Why do people live in Russia? Why do people live in Siberia? I don't know. It's too damn cold. Humans were not meant to live in such climes. But we do. We live all over the place. And there are people that love it. How do you even live? You can't grow anything in Siberia. So, even the Trans-Siberian Railroad. Do people know that the it's actually laid on top of ice? It's not even laid on the solid. They can't get to this. It's permafrost. They can't get to the solid ground, I guess. They lay it on ice. I just find that amazing. Yeah, I don't. Why would you? How do you live in such a place where it's just cold all the time? I like the sun and the heat myself. I don't know why anybody does. Well, people live in. Well, I was watching something yesterday. Late last night, I was watching something, and it was some YouTube stuff. Some short films from England. Which is, some of them were kind of funny. They were all, you can find anything on YouTube, but it was short films, short comedy films on YouTube, and none of them were they were all 7 minutes long or shorter. And all but one of them depicted, only one had a sunny day in Britain. Britain is England, not just Britain, England and Wales. It always seems, whenever I see them, any pictures of there outside of London, it always seems cold, dreary, damp. It's just, why would anybody want to live on the British Isles if that's the way it is? I'm just asking, not making fun of anybody in particular, just wondering why anybody would live in such conditions, but people do. Hey, they live in northern climes. I know people ask, well, why do you live in New England, Rod? They get those cold winters. You should live in paradise. Well, I've learned one thing about paradise without having to live in paradise, and that is, the one thing I've learned about paradise is that there really is no such thing as paradise.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of French fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an a-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small. You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Good morning to you, one and all. Welcome back. Hour number 2 here on the Rod Eccles Show on this Friday morning.
Welcome to Freedom Friday.
Yes, indeed, as I take a sip of my delicious coffee on this Friday morning. Here it is, December number 1 in the year of our Lord 2017. Yes, for all of you ecclesiastites and liberty lovers all across the globe, you know what that means. But for you newcomers, basically, Freedom Friday means that we take things a little bit lighter. I give you some lighter information along with the weightier stuff to help us prepare to celebrate for our wonderful weekend and our reignited liberties. Yes, indeed. Just remember not to get caught up. Be the victim of any crime, major crime, serious crime in California, and most of all, do not let do not let yourself be a victim of a major violent crime being perpetrated by an illegal immigrant or shall I say it, a black person, because California doesn't know how to convict criminals. They see race everywhere, evidently. The verdict came out yesterday that in the Kate Steinle murder trial, that what's his face Gonzalez, he's a hyphenated name. Jose Manuela, blah, 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 whatever. He was found not guilty of murder, manslaughter. The only thing he was found guilty of, all the charges that he had tossed on him, not guilty except for, surprise, 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 carrying a gun illegally. Being in possession of a gun illegally. That's the only thing he was convicted of. I wasn't there. No, we all got to be careful now that we don't. We didn't hear all the evidence. We weren't sitting in the trial, in the trial room, in the courtroom. We don't know all the details. But from the details that I do have, that Steinel's father pointed out the killer, which was this guy. So at the least, the man, if he didn't mean to fire off the gun. So at least he should have been convicted of some form of manslaughter. But he was convicted of nothing, found not guilty of everything except for carrying the gun illegally. I don't know how. I mean, and this is the land. This is the land that also, again, found. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that believe O.J. Simpson was guilty of the murders of Ron Brown and Nicole Brown Simpson. I don't know for sure. I have no feeling. I do know this. I do believe this. That he was not the only one. He couldn't have been. O.J. Simpson was not in the physical condition and shape that people like to think. He wasn't the same old football player. He was beleaguered by massive knee problems and arthritis. He still is. But in any case, I mean, this guy, he had the gun. The gun was they did the forensics on it. The gun was the murder weapon. Well, it was the killing weapon, I should say. The bullet that came out of Steinel matched the gun. So the gun, and Steinel's father said, yeah, he's the guy that did the shooting. Am I not mistaken? Didn't he admit he fired the gun? Yeah, I mean, that was part of it was an accident. He didn't mean to do that. He didn't point it at anybody. He found it, he picked it up, and he fired it. Yeah, people do that all the time. They find a gun laying out in the street, and the first thing they do is pick it up and start shooting with it. I get it. Okay. But with all of that, the guy was found he can't be retried on any of this stuff because he was found not guilty. I'm with the president is beside himself on this one. I'm with the president. I don't get it. I mean, at least wasn't he weren't some of the charges having to do with manslaughter? I know murder was one charge, and there were a whole bunch of charges. Wasn't manslaughter one of them? They couldn't convict him on manslaughter? And if they did not have that option available to them, to convict him of manslaughter, then that's the prosecution's fault. California is just a mess. When it comes to the legal system out in California, it's just a total and complete mess. We'll get into the tax thing too. Believe it or not, the tax cut issue may be in a little bit of trouble. Down there in D.C. And believe it or not, I heard, I don't know who it was because I came in a little bit late on the conversation on the Hannity show yesterday. He had a lawmaker on. And there was a problem with getting rid of the tax deduction in high tax states. And I'm thinking, you know what? If you live in a high-tax state, that's your own damn fault. You should not be able to... The reason why that this came about folks, don't doubt me on this. The reason why there is a deduction to be able to deduct certain income and property taxes in your high-tax state off your federal return is so your state can hide the fact that their taxes are so damn high. This was not a mistake, by the way, when this was implemented. So the rest of the country that is fiscally responsible, they don't have income taxes or high sales taxes or high property taxes, like Texas, Florida, Alaska, my state of New Hampshire. We don't have a very large or high tax burden on our citizenry here in these states. But we're subsidizing you fools in places like Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, California, Illinois, New Jersey, who do have high taxes, who do put a extremely high burden of taxation on their citizenry. But we're subsidizing it. You shouldn't subsidize corporations, Rod. Okay, then why are we subsidizing anybody for anything at any time anyway? So we'll get into that in the next hour. But right now, did you hear this? This is something, early in the first hour, you talked about the Harry, Meghan upcoming nuptials. And that they're out and about, presenting themselves to their adoring fans in public. I don't know much about Meghan Markle other than her mommy's black and her daddy's white. Then that should be enough to piss off the Queen. Can you imagine having a gaggle of nappy-headed ginger children running around? They're going to be 25% at least, 1/4 African American at that. And with the possibility, because of Harry being a ginger or redhead, the possibility of has anybody ever seen a redheaded black person? Well, I mean, they're obviously not fully black, but has anybody? I have. I've got them in my family. They're out in Detroit, Michigan, the Detroit area, Roseville, a couple of them. So you can have well, it's part of the on my mother's side, the Taylor part of my mother's family. There's Irish there. Believe it or not, I don't know if there's Irish in me, but I haven't been able to find that. But there is part of my mother's family on her side. I do believe it is on her grandfather's side, who's also, he was half Cherokee. Actually, he was more than half Cherokee because he was Creole and Cherokee. And Creole is part Native American anyway. So he was part Cherokee and part Creole. And but one of his brothers married somebody who was of Irish descent. So there's Irish on the Taylor side of the family there. And I have cousins that, they're part black, but they also have red hair. So can you imagine having a bunch of nappy-headed redheads running around Buckingham Palace? If anything, that should put Queen Elizabeth into a grave. I'm serious, man. It's just funny to think about. Introducing color into a very white system of governance and government in a very white, well, it used to be a very white nation, not so much anymore. Britain. In any case, but New York Times is reporting that an Anglican minister is urging the British subjects to pray for little Prince George. Yes, William and Kate's eldest is the third in line to the throne, behind Granddaddy Charles and Daddy Wills. He is urging them to pray for little Prince George to grow up to be gay. I kid you not. A prominent Anglican cleric and gay rights campaigner known for contentious gestures has urged believers to pray for little Prince George, who is now only 4. He's already 4? Huh. Okay, time really does fly by. Who's 4 years old, And third in line to the throne, to find love, and this is a quote from the cleric, to find the love of a fine young gentleman. Of course, when he grows up so as to advance the cause of Satan. This is how sick these people are. He wants people to pray for Prince George to be gay so that Prince George can advance the cause of same-sex marriage within the Anglican Church. How sick is that? George's uncle, and currently fifth in line for the throne, announced his engagement to Meghan Markle, who is a divorced half African-American actress. The suggestion by the very Reverend Kelvin Holdsworth, yes, Kelvin, Kelvin Holdsworth, seemed to illuminate once more Britain's fascination with royalty love, especially when it collides with tradition. You see, Prince Harry and Miss Markle have said they will marry in May at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, west of London, but it's only since 2002 that the Church of England has permitted church marriages for divorced people in exceptional circumstances at the discretion of parish priests. The church teaching is that marriage is for life. Well, if you're getting involved in Hollywood love, Harry, you're going to probably run into somebody. Yeah, did you know that she's already divorced? I didn't know that either. Meghan Markle was already married and is already married and divorced. Now, this is not the first time a royal has wanted to marry and has married a divorcee or divorced. Edward, Queen Elizabeth's father's brother. Didn't he abdicate the throne because he wanted to marry a divorced woman? And that was just not done back then. Absolutely not. I think that was the case, right? He abdicated the throne and he moved, and they lived in France, actually, for much of their married life. I'm not up on British royal history. I think I'm accurate, somewhat accurate in that statement. I could be wrong in that because I'm not a historical figure. I'm not interested in British monarchy history that much. So, but I think that's how. Was it Edward? Is that Elizabeth's father's name? That's how Edward came to the throne, which is why Elizabeth is the queen. Because there was no heir under George's brother at the time when he abdicated. So, because he wasn't married, he had no children, no little children. So the line of the king of royalty ran through now the brother of the rightful king, I guess. I don't. And Edward had no male heir, so that gave rise to Queen Elizabeth. I'm not fully sure how all that crapola works over there. I mean, I think they should be happy that they're diversifying their gene pool to a certain degree. Well, I mean, Kate in no way is related to the royals, and we know that Meghan is in no way related to the royals. So they should be happy that they're diversifying their gene pool now. Yeah, it seems to me, but I don't know. But the scuttlebutt is good old Queen Elizabeth she wasn't all that happy with Princess Diana. She's not all that happy with Princess Kate, and she sure as hell isn't all that happy with Harry's choice in soon to be Princess Meghan. Well, if you're a royal, this is interesting times if you are a royal watcher. We'll be back with the next Christmas song, folks. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar. Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar. And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Welcome back. How about now we get into a wonderful Christmas song. Now, as I have said, for those of you who are new to the program, every year at this time, past 2 years, we've introduced and played Christmas songs, old and new versions, from independent artists from around the country that submit them to be played. And this year we have some new ones, but we'll begin playing those on Monday. Right now we're revisiting the past 2 years, and here is a version of Angels We Have Heard on High. And that was William Billy Van Horn, very talented individual, with his version of Angels We Have Heard on High on the piano.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye. I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Every day, 70,000 puppies or kittens are born in the U.S. Cute, right? What's not cute is that half of all litters are accidents, which leads to millions killed in shelters each year. Turns out, those little cuties can get pregnant sooner than you think. But here's the good news. You can stop the accident before it happens. When you bring home a pet, get them fixed at 4 months old. Prevent more. Fix at month 4. Visit fixat4.com for more information. Brought to you by Best Friends Animal Society.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event!
Promises to one's community.
Healthy people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late. We stay informed. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Welcome back, folks. Glad that you are here. Yeah, no, let's get rid of that. It's time for that to go aside so you can hear my beautiful voice, all unencumbered. Homeless street services stall as encampments continue to grow. This is a story in the LA Times. Yes. High above the Metro Gold Line tracks, a string of lean-tos that Lee Brown calls his three-bedroom condo is tethered to a hilltop fence in Elysian Park. And he is among the growing number of folks, homeless folks. That's I guess it's a tent city growing. The 4-man, 2-dog tent city, one of several camps in the 600-acre park north of downtown Los Angeles, California, has remained intact for at least 2 years. Passed from one homeless person to the next. This 3-bedroom condominium, I guess. Last year, Los Angeles, California, put money behind various efforts to curb encampments like Brown's until the city's ambitious housing construction program could take hold. Funding for one strategy, camp cleanups or sweeps, expanded to $13 million, but spending on services for people living in the streets, mobile showers, housing navigation centers, storage facilities, and homeless parking lots, lagged me. They're spending $13 million on homeless people. And that's not enough to keep them out of the so-called camps out there. What? That's not even all the money they're spending. Of the $7.5 million budgeted for street strategies in 2016 and 17, more than $2 million was returned to the city coffers, and nearly $2 million was diverted to camp sweeps. So they can't even they can allocate money, which they probably shouldn't be, and they can't even spend it right. They can't get people off the. I thought Californians cared so much about people and the homeless. They can't get the homeless off. They're going to spend an additional $13 million on services for people living on the streets, like mobile showers. Housing navigation. What's a housing navigation center? You're a homeless person. You walk into a housing navigation center and they navigate you through finding a home, I guess, off the streets. Storage facilities and homeless parking. What's a homeless parking lot? Do they have is it... I'm probably going to get blasted for this one for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Is it a parking lot for the shopping carts that homeless people push around? I'm not being facetious here. What the hell is a homeless parking lot? Seriously. Homeless people have... I thought it was rare that homeless people had cars. I mean, because if you're a homeless person with a car, it usually means that you're an underemployed. Well, we had a story a couple of weeks ago about these college professors that were living in their cars. They were homeless because they didn't make a whole hell of a lot of money, but they loved the profession of teaching. We were supposed to feel sorry for them because they wouldn't go out and find a real high-paying job. Yeah, I make $30,000 a year and I'm homeless because they live in places like San Francisco. Making $30,000 being a college professor. and they can't afford an apartment. Because they live in the wrong cities. So, but we're supposed to feel sorry for them because they were living in their car. There are people that choose to be homeless. I mean, there are Google and Facebook employees that are homeless. Did you know that? Well, they choose not because they can't afford a place. Many of them can't afford a place, but they don't want to spend that kind of money on a house or an apartment. You know, they're making six figures, but they don't want to spend $5,000 a month on an apartment or something. So what do? They go out and they buy campers, like Winnebagos, and they buy trucks, old U-Haul moving vans, and they convert them into mobile housing units. Why not? Because places like Google and Apple and Facebook, these high-tech firms out there, they all provide the necessities of life. I mean, what do these people need? All they need is a place to sleep, right? Basically. Because these companies have cafeterias. Often different times a day, like lunch is provided by the company. So they don't even have to pay for at least one of their meals every day. So they have a cafeteria where they can eat every day. They have workout rooms and gyms with showers so they can go in and get ready and shower every day. They don't need to have they don't need to have their own water bill or water hookup. No, they just go in and into work and shower and get ready every day. They have everything they need. If they've got dry cleaning or laundry, they've got a lot of these companies, Silicon Valley companies, they even have laundry and dry cleaning services. They don't even got to take their laundry. They don't got to go to the laundromat. They take their laundry and dry cleaning into work, and the company comes and picks it up, and a few days later delivers it. I know how that works because I used to own one of those kind of companies. And then I sold the customer list. Yeah. But yeah, that's how it works. Go to people's work or their house. You pick up their laundry or dry cleaning. You take it back to your facility or your contract cleaner. You get it all cleaned up and pressed and primped and all that kind of stuff. And then you return it to the place that you picked it up. We've got a lot of those kind of services building up now. So they don't need to own a place. And they're realizing this. But these people out there in L.A., they're homeless because they don't have jobs and many of them, we well know, have some mental disorders, some mental issues. But out there in California, $13 million in L.A. alone. And part of that $13 million is going to do mobile they have mobile laundries too. There's a mobile showers and mobile laundries. Yeah, all the washing machines and dryers are on a truck, and people they just drive around and stop at certain areas so people can do their laundry. But mobile showers, housing navigation centers, storage facilities, because yes, like all Americans, even the homeless have a lot of possessions that they need to store away, and homeless parking lots. I'm still trying to figure out what a homeless parking lot is. I have no idea. Loud booms are being heard in southern Alabama. Loud booms are heard across Arizona, not Alabama. I got some Judge Moore news here too, which is Alabama, so we'll get to that a little bit later. But loud booms heard across southern Arizona, maybe from Luke Air Force Base. People are asking questions. There's a lot of loud booms going on lately. It's because of aliens. Well, there are some people that are saying that it was aliens, and some people were saying it's out of the Book of Revelation. It's the has anybody heard the sounds over some world cities? Now, I don't know if any American cities have heard these, but I think there was over a French city, over a Spanish city, and I think there was an Asian city where supposedly we heard horns being sounded. As in, well, that's what the Book of Revelation says. You're going to hear horns from heaven. And it really freaked out a bunch of people, even people who aren't religious. There are numerous videos with the audio that it sounds. They all sound exactly the same, but they're in different parts of the world. So unless somebody's collaborating, which I suppose is possible, it's highly unlikely for these horn sounds blasts that are heard in various cities across the globe to be by one person or one group of people. But now there have been some sonic, well, we're learning that they may be sonic booms. The mystery may have been solved to what is causing loud booms heard and felt across southern Arizona. From the Oro Valley to Picture Rocks and Douglas to Nogales. Because, everybody in southern Arizona, like the Tucson News, the 911 system, has been inundated with calls, emails, and Facebook messages from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who say that they've been feeling rumbles and heard loud explosion-type sounds. Now, according to Luke Air Force Base, they say it may have been them. You see, Luke Air Force Base is hosting a training exercise with Singapore, and the result is more planes at the base and Barry M. Goldwater Range Complex. The exercises began Monday on November 27th and will run until Monday, December 11th. So a lot of the sonic booming could be, and it could be from, live fire drills. It could be from jet aircraft, breaking the sound barrier during a lot of these trials and exercises. Maybe maybe it is them just trying to cover up some alien stuff. But in any case, this has nothing to do with the horn sounds being heard in places like Paris and cities in Spain. I think it was Barcelona was one of the cities, as well as there were a couple of Asian cities that Chinese cities that evidently heard the horn. It did sound like a horn being blown. I watched and listened to it. It sounded like a giant horn. No, it wasn't. The sound of prayer for Muslims doesn't use that kind of a horn. But it was interesting. It was very loud, so I don't know what could have caused it. And I don't believe it was angelic host blowing the horns in heaven, proclaiming. Well, it could be. You never know. We don't know. We won't know until we do know. Let me just put it that way. And for those people who are out there who are predicting the days that Christ is going to, Christ, he said it in the Bible, no man knows except for nobody in the universe knows the day of my return except for the Father in heaven. He's the only one that knows, and he's not given up that information. So nobody knows. But we find all these heretics all the time that predict, oh, he's going to return. And then when the day comes and goes, they have all kinds of excuses of why they missed the date. It's just funnier than hell sometimes. But they take people's money, so it's really serious stuff too. So I'm surprised we haven't heard haven't had anybody that's been trying to take advantage of I haven't heard of anybody trying to take advantage of these loud booms. The end is near. Well, there are people trying to take advantage of the super volcano. Evidently, the super volcano is active. There are places especially in Montana, where it's located, that have risen, bulged a little bit. Now, evidently, according to scientists, it's in no danger of erupting anytime soon. But soon in geography terms could be 1,000 years. It also could be 10 years, but they're saying not soon. So I don't know what they mean by soon. But some people are this whole prepper movement, believe it or not, is starting. I'm starting to see signs that it's moving away from the prepper movement is moving away from potential conflict with government and government forces to natural calamity. You prepare differently for natural calamity, I guess, versus government, a war with your government. Okay. I'm not a prepper, so I don't know the ins and outs of all that stuff, but evidently there is a difference. And preppers are maybe they know something about the supervolcano or other disasters that are going to be hitting. I don't know. Guess we'll find out one way or the other, won't we?
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
A couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said, "I'll bet you're a Nazi." Well, I love America, support the Constitution, and believe in capitalism. So I told him I'm not a Nazi, and I'm not. So what happens? The punk breaks out 2 windows and pepper sprays an elderly woman in the face. You know, there's one thing about long-haired young people nowadays. They're real assholes. Long-haired young people. You suck.
There is a college newspaper that is extremely racist. Yeah. You know, as they say in Wisconsin and Minnesota, yeah. There really is a paper. It's a paper. Yeah. And this is a story from the College Fix. Evergreen State's student newspaper includes a section of no whites allowed. I saw the headline myself and thought, wait, what? Yes, evidently the student newspaper at Evergreen State College has a section in its opinion pages described as, and I quote, "for people of color by people of color." And that is now called POC. You know, I've seen that acronym or those 3 letters tossed around like that recently, and I didn't know what that meant until a few days ago, what POC meant. You know, it's PC to be POC, I guess, people of color. It's just dumb. In any case, this should be a place where we can be us without being overshadowed by the dark cloud that is living under white supremacy and having to see things from a white perspective. This is why when we do cover these issues, it will be in the context from the perspective of people of color and people of color only. That is according to the section's editors as they reintroduced it to readers in September, but we're just now finding out about it around the outside world that a college has a racist part of their of a newspaper public. Now, can you imagine if you had a newspaper had a column or a section that said it was whites only? White people, pale face only. PPC, people of pale face. Yeah. Dear white people, they say, please take a step back. This isn't brown people answer white people's questions hour. We're asking specifically for submissions from people of color. You can't make this stuff up, folks. This is a newspaper. Now, this is a bi-weekly newspaper called Cooper Point Journal. The anonymous column known as POC Talk, People of Color Talk, debuted in the bi-weekly Cooper Point Journal last year and returned this fall to the newspaper's pages following racial unrest that erupted at the public university this past spring. Yes, so, Dear White People. Anybody ever see that movie, Dear White People? I haven't seen it yet. I'm told it would be a waste of my time. I've been told by other black people that it would be a waste of my time. The people who uphold, who champion this movie, Dear White People? I find it's white people. Many black people that I know, on both sides of the political aisle, they pan this thing. They say it's stupid, dumb. It doesn't say much. I thought it was made by other blacks. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Don't know much about it. But I have noticed that the people that do say, "Oh, this is a great movie," is white people. Why is it now cool to be if you're white to be self-loathing? I don't know. It's amazing to see, but white people are now hating on themselves for being white. They can't, just for being, not how they act, just for being white. They go run around apologizing for I'm sorry for being white. I can't help it. I was born this way. Hey, you can be born gay, but you can't be born white. Being born gay is okay. Being born white is... you can't make this stuff up, folks. I'm sorry. You just can't. It's hilarious.
It was just another quiet Saturday at the Johnson home.
Honey, have you seen the hammer?
It's in the garage.
Oh, no, not the garage.
Later that same day...
Dad, I can't find the bicycle pump.
Son, I'm afraid it's in the garage.
The garage?
Then the following Tuesday...
Howard, where's the car?
It's in the garage.
Does your garage look like a giant yard sale without the yard? Do you cringe at the thought of entering your garage? Then you need Crest Garage Cabinets. With one phone call, those wonderful folks at Crest will come out to your home, design the best combination of cabinets for you, and install them quickly and professionally before your very eyes.
It's a miracle.
And unlike other companies who ask for a down payment or money up front, you won't pay a penny until your Crest cabinets are installed to your satisfaction. So call Crest today, toll-free at 1-800-548-2848. That's 1-800-548-2848. And you'll never fear going into your garage again.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's going to explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine. It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand. For each other. For our nation. For us all. The few. The proud. The Marines.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Confused, people. I am very confused.
And now, the coolest, most politically incorrect conservative black man on the planet, Rod Eccles.
Yes, I am very confused. I got a call, an unsolicited call from the state of Vermont. I don't live in Vermont. Welcome, everyone, all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe. Here it is, hour number 3 already, the fastest 3 hours in Internet Talk Radio, even on a Friday.
Welcome to Freedom Friday.
Yes, indeed, even on Friday, this program goes by super fast. Fastest 3 hours on Internet Talk Radio, powered by Zinc Media Arts. Here it is, Friday, December number 1 in the year of our Lord 2017, as we continue on. Yes, indeed, I got a call on my cellular telephone from a Vermont agency, evidently, talking about Vermont health care and plans are still available. I don't live in Vermont. I don't even have a Vermont phone number. How is it I'm getting calls from Vermont about looking into... Do they want me to move to Vermont? Does somebody want me to move to... Does Vermont want me to move to Vermont? Is that why they're doing it? Why they're giving me calls, unsolicited calls? I'm a little confused and worried. Am I anti? No, I'm just pro New Hampshire. I'll admit it. I'm pro New Hampshire. I'm pro Granite State. I'm not anti Vermont. I love the state of Vermont. It's a beautiful state. I love visiting it. I wish I visited more. One of the. There are a few places on this planet that actually, when you see a picture of places, and you have this romantic notion of what it is by the picture, there are a few places on the planet that match that romantic notion, that at least that I've been to. I've seen pictures of many different places that I've been to, and the romantic notion of the picture doesn't match the reality. For much of Vermont, it does. I mean, it isn't staged at all. You see picturesque pictures of Vermont in the summer, spring, the fall, the winter. That is Vermont. Not to and you see a lot of pictures of Vermont where you don't see people in the pictures. Well, that's also Vermont. I don't know what Vermonters do, but Vermonters, they're out and about, yes, but you can't seem to, unless you're in the major cities, you can't seem to catch people out and about in Vermont. It's this picturesque, beautiful, bucolic, natural wonderland. Vermont is gorgeous. And it looks the reality is, it's just like the pictures. The pictures, are not faked at all. They're not staged. That is Vermont. When you see a picture of Vermont, it is most likely really Vermont. It's not staged. That's how Vermont looks, not staged. But they're just too damn liberal. And their taxes are too high. I mean, for crying out loud, it's the home of Bernie Sanders. Why the hell would I'm not anti-Vermont. I'm just anti-liberal. I wouldn't get along very well with, Yeah, but the problem is a lot of Vermonters, natural-born Vermonters, Green Mountain Boy types of descendants, they're not really all that liberal. You got a bunch of people that have moved in later, that have come from the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. They moved up there, which is why the housing prices and property prices in Vermont are shooting through the roof, because a bunch of well-to-do liberals are moving up there because Vermont is so gorgeous. It is beautiful. And they're bringing their politics with them. And that has caused an upheaval in Vermont. I mean, and you have a lot of artists in Vermont, a bunch of people that live off, well, I wouldn't even say they live off the land. They, if you were, well, it's kind of, did you know that Vermont is it has been for a long, even before my state was, Vermont is and has been for a very long time a constitutional firearms carry state. If you can legally own a firearm, you don't need a license to carry. I mean, there are people in Vermont that still, the good old rifle or shotgun in the back in the pickup truck window. Yeah, you actually do see that in Vermont. I've seen it. Shotgun in the pickup truck. I mean, it's just it's hilarious, yes, but it's for reals. And you don't need a license to carry concealed or otherwise. They call it a constitutional carry. New Hampshire is now a constitutional carry state, where you used to have to get permission and get you had to go to your police department and get your police chief's permission in order to get a concealment carry permit. But now here in New Hampshire, it's constitutional carry. You don't need to get permission. And I think that is the same way with Maine. So you've got northern New England, which has gone back to its roots of the Revolutionary War period, of being a constitutional carry state. And then you've got southern New England, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, especially Connecticut and Massachusetts, where I understand it is really, I think it's just as difficult to get a concealed carry permit in Connecticut almost as difficult as it is in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is ridiculous. Massachusetts doesn't believe in the Second Amendment at all. I know that's kind of strange and funny, but it's pretty much the truth. They don't. And New York is not, the state of New York is not that much better. So we're kind of, we're cornered up here in New England on the gun. But, as liberal as Vermont is, they're a constitutional carry state, which is really kind of I guess that liberals in Vermont figure if they're going to keep control of Vermont and keep it liberal as it is, they've got to let the conservative, natural-born Vermonters keep their guns. Otherwise, they will revolt. That's probably what's going in their minds. So we'll let them keep their guns, but we'll take everything else. Very liberal. And that's the way Vermont is. But still a beautiful state. If you can just get past, that's where Howard Dean comes from, Howard Dean and Bernie Sanders. It's small. There aren't many people in Vermont. As small as Vermont is population-wise, they have a lot of nutso people. They really do. It's crazy liberal people. We're still out in California here. Judge ruling on Albany. This just in. Former Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn to plead guilty for lying to the FBI. See, they were going to... Didn't I say that they were going to get Flynn? Well, a lot of us said they were going to get Flynn on a procedural... They were just going to, I'm sorry. How about if you're getting Flynn for lying to the FBI? Why are we getting Hillary Clinton for lying to the FBI? Seriously. I mean, didn't Hillary, well, I don't recall. Well, I know we impeached Bill Clinton for lying, but watch Michael Flynn go to jail for a year or more. I mean, this is ridiculous. In other words, the man didn't commit a crime. Well, the only crime that he committed was lying to the FBI. And this is why you don't talk to the government. Because they will come back and ask you the same damn question 5,000 times. And all of this is based on your memory, your recollection. And we know how inaccurate the human memory can be sometimes. So if you recall a detail at one particular answer, but you don't recall it in another particular time that you answered the same damn question, they're going to get you for lying. And they'll make it stick. This is why people don't talk to the FBI without immunity. I don't blame them. I wouldn't talk to the government without immunity. Wouldn't answer a single, and I'd only answer their questions once. I wouldn't keep going back answering the same. I'm sorry, you asked me that question already. It's asked and answered. Next question. You got to do this kind of stuff with them because they will get you like this. So this is the report, evidently, that Michael Flynn is planning to plead guilty to lying to the FBI. Now, I don't know the details behind it. We will, as time goes by, we will get the full information on this potential plea bargain deal. Judge issues ruling on Albany High School online posting lawsuit. Yes, a United States District Court judge in San Francisco issued a divided ruling this week on a portion of a case involving an Instagram account created by former Albany High student that had several racist memes posted on it. The lawsuits were filed on behalf of 10 students disciplined after the discovery of the account in March. The Albany Unified School District and several employees, as well as district officials and an Albany Unified School District board member, were the defendants. November 29th, Judge James Donato, D-O-N-A-T-O, granted a summary judgment in favor of the defendants regarding how the AUSD disciplined the creator of the account and students who had liked and commented on some of the posts. He ruled against the AUSD regarding 4 students who liked or commented on posts that didn't target specific students and one who never liked or commented on any. How do you discipline somebody who didn't at least comment on anything? Or like anything? How do they even know? Hey, you went to this guy's post. You're suspended. What? Wait, I didn't comment or like or anything. You still went there. You're following them. Donato only considered the First Amendment questions as related state law claims raised by the lawsuits in this ruling. The parties agreed to address those questions on summary judgment as they are central to the case. It's not clear when the other claims by the plaintiffs will be considered. So in other words, if you like somebody's post, in a country where you're supposed to have freedom of speech and freedom of expression, no matter how disgusting or disparaging your ideas or ideals are, you have the right to express them. But if somebody else in your school doesn't like them, well, then your school can then suspend you for it. And then if you like the post because you agree with it, or maybe you like the picture, or you comment on it, either good or bad, you can get suspended too. That's a bunch of BS. And we got a judge out in California. He says, he seems to be saying right now, leaning towards, well, that's okay. That's not okay. I don't care. Well, Rod, they were nasty posts, man. They were racist. I don't care. The Constitution does not say that only stuff that I like is protected speech. It's specifically designed to protect speech that the majority of us won't like. Because at some point, the majority of us are going to say something or express something that the majority of people don't like. Look, I've seen it on this program. I've said things. I'm not going to mention what it is or who it was, but I've said things in this program that have gotten many a fan upset or disagreeing with me. That's what freedom of speech and freedom of expression is there to protect. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. The one thing that we should agree on is that you have the right to express your opinion, no matter how disgusting we may find that opinion. And to have a court of law uphold disciplinary action against people, students, who are expressing their opinion, no matter how, terrible that opinion is just, it's very bad. It's bad, 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 bad all the way around. I mean, I don't even know how it could possibly be construed as well. We'll be back. Another Christmas song coming up.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Get to the next Christmas song. You know what? We'll do the next Christmas song first, and then we will get into the day's holidays. This is White Christmas by the Chrysagus Brothers. ChrysagusBrothers.com is CHRISAGIS if you'd like to look them up. They've always been very courteous in letting me play their Christmas stuff. After they were first on board last year, and they sent me some stuff. Or 2 years ago they were first on board, and they sent me some stuff last year as well. This is great stuff. Chrysagus Brothers, their version of White Christmas.
Just a bare tree, the leaves have all fallen as it waits for the winter to come. Once completely in bloom, now it stands like a tomb. Spring is over and winter's begun. But the darkening skies hasten the snowfall. Soon the tree is a splendor of white, and the one that was bare, now a masterpiece there. What was dead again sparkles with light. Oh Lord, let this be a white Christmas. Let the snow gently cover my soul. Take away all the pain, all the blemish and stain, and this broken heart, please make it whole. Lord, let this be a white Christmas. Let your blood cleanse this one that's filled with sin. Oh Lord, let this be a white Christmas. Make me pure now, without and within. Like a tree, Lord, I come with no blossoms, only promise and hope deep inside. No leaves and no fruit, but that seed's taking root, and I know that you're here by my side. How I know of your work done on Calvary, and the blood that was shed just for me. So please cover my night, making everything white. Let the cross become my...
That was the Chrysagus Brothers with their version of White Christmas. Not I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but they also have a song called White Christmas. That was their White Christmas here on the Rod Eccles Show. And again, they have been supporters of this program's Christmas music the past 2 years, and here they are again this year. And if you want to know more about them, just visit, I think it's ChrysagusBrothers.com. So it's CHRISGASIS, Chrysagus. Check them out. They're pretty good.
You might be surprised to learn who has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Nearly 1 in 200 Americans are suffering with the debilitating pain and constant disruption of these inflammatory bowel diseases, or IBD. Chances are you know someone with IBD. For example, your neighbor or coworker. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation was created to help patients cope and to find a cure. People with IBD can't wait. Won't you help someone you know? Visit www.escapethestall.com today.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, but most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? Shifting to a system based on primary care can help fix the problem. Patients with a primary care doctor live longer, healthier lives and are less likely to suffer from cancer, heart disease, or stroke. Primary care that is comprehensive and coordinated also saves money. Patients who have a primary care doctor spend 30% less on health care than patients who don't. States with a high number of primary care doctors have lower health care costs and higher quality care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Ah! Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
today we have today's holidays for December 1 in the year of our Lord 2017. Well, not just for this year, but for this day. The holidays for today on December 1 are, it is Bifocals at the Monitor Liberation Day. It's a I know we get some obscure holidays today, but, and this is how they portray it, according to the creators of this day, Ruth and Thomas Roy of Wellcat Holidays, it's a day when those who don't wear bifocals have compassion for those who have to wear them while working with computers. Those who are constantly trying to figure out which of these two lenses to use when looking at the screen. Wearing bifocals and reading at a computer can cause muscle fatigue. Now, I don't happen to wear bifocals. As a matter of fact, in order to read my computer, I suppose if I got really close to it, I might have a problem. But most people sit a comfortable arm's length distance from their computer. I don't have a problem with that. But so I don't have to worry. Well, I guess I don't. Maybe I'm one of those mean, evil people that don't understand people who have to wear bifocals. But today is Bifocals at the Monitor Liberation Day, referring to your computer. Today is also Civil Air Patrol Day. Yes, believe it or not, they still have Civil Air Patrols. There's even one. There's a chapter in Concord, New Hampshire, Civil Air Patrol at the Concord Airport, Municipal Airport. Today is a day without art. Now, it's also World AIDS Day, but according to the designers or the description of the day without art, it is Day Without Art, aka World AIDS Day. They're not two separate celebrations, they're one and the same. A Day Without Art is an annual event where art museums and other organizations that are in art areas organize programs to raise awareness of AIDS and remember people who have died and to inspire positive action. It is also known as World AIDS Day, which is created to acknowledge and mourn the passing of those infected with AIDS, as well as to take action to find prevention and cures for the disease. So, a Day Without Art Day, aka World AIDS Day, is today. It is also Eat a Red Apple Day, not a green apple. God don't make little green apples. It don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. Not that kind of green apple. It's a red apple day. So it's Eat Red Apples Day. Eat them. Not just look at them, not smell them, sniff them, burn them, whatever. It's just eat red apple. Eat a red apple day. So go out there and buy yourself an apple. It's got to be red, typical red, and eat it. It's also National Christmas Lights Day. Today is the day that people can officially, I suppose, I don't know what officially or unofficially is. It's National Christmas Lights Day is a day by putting up your Christmas lights. Put them up on a tree inside and around your house, on your house, or outside, inside, doesn't matter, on your trees, in your yard. Maybe even can program your light display to synchronize with music or enter a Christmas lights contest. But today is the day to start doing all of that. Put your lights up today. It is December 1, Christmas Lights Day. And it is not done yet. It is Faux Fur Day. Fake Fur Day. You know what that is. For people, oftentimes fake fur is mistaken for real fur because it looks so real in some cases. Got to be careful with that because you got those anti-fur people out there that go absolutely bazonkers if they see fur. If you try to explain it's fake fur, they won't believe you. It's also National Pie Day. Not any particular kind of pie, just pie in general. So eat some pie today. It could be chicken pot pie, it could be pumpkin pie, it could be blueberry pie, it could be red apple pie. That's a way to eat your red apple today, is eat a red apple pie, apple day, whatever. It's also International Sweater, not Festival, Vestival. Yes, this is always observed the second Friday after Thanksgiving. You know, the ugly Christmas sweater and Christmas sweater vest, well, that's being celebrated today. It's also Wear a Dress Day, which is also recognized or observed on June 1st and December 1st. I guess 6 months apart. Every 6 months you can wear a dress. And finally, as on February 1st, December 1st is, or February 4th, December 1st is also Rosa Parks Day. Now, there's no real information of why they have it on two separate days, other than the fact that in California, it is Rosa Parks Day is marked on February 4th, and in Ohio, it is marked on December 1st. The rest of the country can figure out where they want to put Rosa Parks Day. They could choose another day if they want. So those are the holidays for today, December 1. So get out there and enjoy all your holidays. This is CBS Detroit, CBS Local Detroit. There is an Attorney General hopeful that thinks she has found a way to win elected office. She asked a question, if you want to end sexual harassment, she says, an elected candidate who doesn't have a penis. Isn't that discriminatory? Now, I guess she hasn't heard about, some of the females like Mariah Carey, who's been accused of sexual harassing men. Does Mariah Carey have a penis? I think if Mariah Carey has a penis, I think it would come as a surprise to Nick Cannon. Just saying. Didn't they have kids? Yeah, they had twins. So I think it would come as a surprise to their twins, too, that if mommy had a penis. I'm sure that's going to be a book. I'm serious. They'll probably read that book in like first or second grade reading class on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. You know, instead of I have two mommies, I have two daddies, or whatever, it's going to be mommy has a penis. It's going to keep right in line with the whole Bruce Caitlyn Jenner thing, the whole transgender, transvestite, trans whatever thing going on. So this person says, hey, you want to end sexual harassment? Vote for a woman because we don't have penises, and penises are the reason why we have sexual harassment. No, it's not the penis. It's not the penis fault. It's not. One candidate's idea to eliminate sexual harassment in the workplace could be to elect women only. So, you're going to just put women in charge of everywhere? Who can you trust most not to show their penis in a professional setting? Well, since women don't have a penis, of course they can't have or show a penis in a professional setting. But hey, how many women have been charged and or convicted of sexual assault on boys? And there's a lot of them. I mean, now maybe women don't do sexual harassment to men in the workplace, but you put women in charge of boys in a school where the woman is the teacher and the boys are the student, and you will get female teachers who are getting caught left and right. Some of them even having their teenage lovers' babies while they're in jail. So what is this notion that women do not commit sexual harassment? That's not. Do they not consider a female teacher in her 20s, 30s, and sometimes 40s preying on boys who are 14, 15, 16, 17 years old? That's not sexual harassment? Well, I know. I mean, it is pedophilia, yeah, but that's not sexual harassment either. Though, I mean, only men commit sexual harassment, right? Okay. Okay, this is nonsensical. This is stupid. This is a dumb maybe it's not such a dumb political move. Liberals might find this enjoyable and believer. Yeah. Vote women. Because they don't have a vote for me because this is the new slogan. Vote for me because I don't have a penis. I'm. Is that? I shouldn't say this, but is Michelle Obama going to be able to say that? There are some people that believe that she can't, because there are some people that honestly believe that she is actually a he. Michelle is Michael. I'm not one of those people. But I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying that now. I believe that Michelle Obama was born a female, and she did not become a female later on. I just not buying the fact that she has a. So Michelle Obama can still say that she, vote for me, I don't have a penis. Although some people believe that she can't say that. Well, I guess maybe we should challenge her to use that as if she ever runs for political office. We should challenge her to use that to see if she can actually use that as a political slogan. I'm just well, we could say Hillary Clinton should have probably used that. That is a slogan. She might have beat Trump if she did. Yeah, somebody in the chat room saying no, Hillary can't. I don't look. If there's one thing you can accuse Bill Clinton of being many things, but one thing you cannot is accuse Bill Clinton of being gay. There's nobody that's ever even hinted at Bill Clinton being gay. There are people that hinted at Barack Obama being gay, but nobody's ever hinted at Bill Clinton being gay. I haven't heard it. So I don't think he would start with Hillary. Maybe Hillary's is a trans. I can't say tranny, can it? That's not PC to say tranny now. Is tranny I think tranny's derogatory, isn't it? It's now considered. I don't know. I can't keep up with this PC crap. I don't even try. I'm politically incorrect anyway. But I mean, I don't want to. There are times when I purposely want to be politically incorrect because I purposely want to try to piss people off. But right now, I don't want to piss anybody off. I'm not trying to. So I don't know if tranny is. I think it is a derogatory. I don't know why it is, but I think it is. So I can't say that Hillary's a tranny, can I? Well, but I don't know. Well, because transgender and transsexual, they have two different meanings according to the LGGBDDDTTTIJJPQ thing. They have two different meanings. I'm just saying. I don't know. Well, I guess I should move on. Street artist. Speaking of having a penis, a street artist targets Al Franken. Yes, with a billboard. Do you know there's a movie out there now called Three Billboards? And it has to do with, I guess that the plot is there was a mother's child her adult daughter was murdered, and the sheriff of the town doesn't seem to be moving very fast or very seriously. Woody Harrelson is in it, I think. I don't know. Conservative street artist Sabo altered an ad for the upcoming film starring Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman. Okay, Zac and Hugh are in a movie together. Do women still find Zac Efron to be adorably cute? I don't know. I mean, he's grown up a lot. I mean, his face. He doesn't look like a kid anymore. He looks like a man. I don't know. Do they still? Is he in his 30s now? I don't know. Anyway. He was never named sexiest man alive, was he? I don't know that either. If he was, I just know that at one point he was considered to be extremely hot. I don't know if he still is or not. I don't know when you fall out of favor. When do you fall? Hugh Jackman is hot still, right? I guess. Is it because he's jacked? He's built? I don't know why. It's not. He doesn't. Well, in most of his movies, he doesn't have his Aussie accent, so it can't be because of his accent. I don't know why Hugh Jackman is considered to be hot and sexy, but he is, I guess. But anyway, conservative street artist Sabo altered an ad for the upcoming film starring Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman. A giant image of Al Franken grabbing a half-naked woman greeted rush hour commuters on a packed Los Angeles freeway early yesterday. The billboard, it came courtesy of Sabo, a conservative street artist known for skewering Hollywood with fake advertisements aimed at celebrities. This time, Sabo, S-A-B-O, went further by hijacking an actual billboard bought and paid for by the 20th Century Fox studio to advertise The Great Showman movie, which opens December 20th and stars Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. The movie, a musical about P.T. Barnum, also stars Zendaya as a trapeze artist, and it is her image that is featured on a billboard off of the 405 freeway near National Boulevard exit, a couple of miles from the Fox studios. Well, if it's a musical, I definitely won't be going out there to see it. Just say, I don't like musicals. I would be a terrible gay person for not liking musicals. Can't stand musicals. Don't even like the sound of music.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
There is a guy out there with amongst all of this sexual harassment debacle, debate and everything. There's a new name, and his son says, I believe the accusations. 9 women accuse Israel Horovitz, the playwright and mentor, of sexual mentor of what? Of sexual misconduct. And his son, a Beastie Boy member, Adam Horovitz, says, I believe the accusations against my dad. In 1986, Maddie Corman was a 16-year-old actress performing off-Broadway as her mother lay dying in a hospital bed hours after having a stroke. Backstage, Miss Corman was consoled by Israel Horovitz, the show's 47-year-old playwright. He was 47 back in 86. Playwright and her mentor. As she prepared to go on, he pressed her against the wall and forcefully kissed her, according to her recollection, she said in a recent interview. Jocelyn Meinhardt was 19 when she began a summer fellowship in '89 with Mr. Horowitz at the Gloucester Stage Company in Massachusetts, where he was artist director. She knew Mr. Horowitz, one of his sons, Adam Horowitz, who could go on to fame as with the Beastie Boys. You've got a right to party. I think that's a Beastie Boy one, right? I was never into the Beastie Boys. I guess Adam Horowitz had been one of her high school boyfriends. So Daddy was hitting on Junior's ex-girlfriend. That's kind of sick. And 7 other women tell similar horror stories of Israel Horowitz. Folks, this is wow. This stuff isn't stopping, and now we're getting to the point where, the offspring of these people who are being accused are now starting to come forward and saying, yeah, I believe it. Now, there's a reason why. Evidently, this is not the first, according to Adam Horowitz, this is not the first time Dad has put the moves on son's girlfriends. It wouldn't be the first time. Evidently, he's experienced this. I don't know the relationship between the two of them, but evidently it doesn't sound like it's very kosher at the moment. I can't imagine. Can you imagine putting the moves on your child's love interest? I mean, that's sick and sad. It just really is just sick and sad. I can't believe this stuff. It's just unbelievable how people will do this to their own offspring. There's more of this going about, and we didn't get to a lot of this as Russell Simmons is in the news again. HBO removed from HBO's all-deaf comedy series. He's also being accused of not just sexual harassment, but rape. Russell Simmons is being accused by a second woman of rape. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out. Now, how many people are going to start coming forward about and confronting some of these celebrities with rape, not just sexual harassment? This is really, really getting to be some serious and sick stuff, folks. Plus, Matt Lauer's lawyer is trying to get him a $30 million post-firing payout. Yeah, get fired for sexual harassment and sexual misconduct and expect to be paid $30 million from your former employer. Evidently, Matt Lauer does. But in any case, well, folks, we're out of time not only for today, but for the week. Have a wonderful weekend, people. We will be back here first thing on Monday, so don't miss out. Until then, glad that you are here. Look forward to seeing you again. I'm Rod Eccles. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain what, why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For a Clinton, what's loaded in some fat Apple file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.